Hello and welcome to Nintendo Nostalgia. This is episode 210. I'm your host Ryan, and I'm joined by my co-host Jacob, and we are back and we are playing with power. Jacob, how you doing this week?
I'm great, man. Let's be real. We have fired Chris and Josh. Ryan and I decided that formula just was not working. It's just Ryan and I back to the way it used to be. Take it to its roots. You know, it's what made this show grow and be amazing. I'm just kidding. No, Chris and Josh are off this week. That tends to be my thing now. I diss whoever's not on. I'm sure they diss me when I'm not on. So
we gotta cut payroll, somewhere. So.
Oh my gosh,
this whole COVID thing,
Yeah, I'm a single dad of 2 kids. It's COVID. We can't afford them every week, so we had to make some cutbacks. Sorry, Josh and Chris, but keep working like we pay you full price, okay?
Yeah. So, Jacob, where's your drink?
I don't have a drink.
Oh, that's crazy, because I thought for sure today was all about celebrating booze.
Oh, that's a terrible joke, Ryan. Considering the fact I don't even drink, that's a really terrible joke.
Yeah, I was hoping Josh would have been on to get a laugh out of that, but he backed out on us, so.
He did back out. You probably heard the joke, and that's why he's not on tonight.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get into what we are Radical Rexing about. Okay, Jacob, kick it off. What you Radical Rexing about? Anything?
You know what, man? There's nothing too crazy that I'm Radical Rexing about right now. I did think Steve coming to Smash was pretty cool. It's nothing that I was clamoring for, but I thought, like, hey, why not? I would have been really upset if he got in over, like Banjo back in those talks days, but I never said he didn't deserve to be there. So that was cool. I'm excited to get him. I bought Min Min. I finally updated Smash and bought her. I don't think I'm going to go all in on the full pass. I'm going to buy as they come out and see what I like, because it is true. Out of all the last Fighter Pass characters, really the only one I cared about was Banjo-Kazooie. Everyone else was like, whatever. So I am going to play it on a case-by-case basis. That amiibo, it looks great.
Yeah.
That's one of the best amiibo they've ever made. Like, period. It's got a lot of character to it, and I'm going to buy 5 of them. I'm buying 1 for me. I'm buying 2 for my kids. I'm buying 2 for me, 1 to play with, 1 to keep in packaged, 2 for my kids, and I'm going to buy 1 for my girlfriend's daughter, Charlotte. I'm going to buy her 1 too. So cool. I love Banjo, and this may be the very only time we ever have a Banjo-Kazooie amiibo ever again. So
yeah.
Unless somehow they get brought over more to Nintendo. But, so I'm really liking that. And I won't lie, I'm starting to get, with Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity on the horizons, I'm really starting to get, an itch for Zelda again. After Breath of the Wild, I've really kind of stepped back and just, I've not let it consume me, this rabbit hole of like, oh, I love Zelda, all this stuff, because I get my Zelda feed, but I'm starting to watch videos of exploring the lore and really kind of sing, question marks about what Breath of the Wild happened and what happened and where is it going. And I'm really starting to get that itch again to want to continue on to the story of Zelda in general and Breath of the Wild. They never have confirmed like where this is in the timeline, have they?
No, they have not, though.
Yeah, that's crap.
It's crazy to think that there's anything after Breath of the Wild because it's so far down the line. And the way they end cap it, where now I know there's more story after, but the way that they talk about how like he gives up his regeneration in that last fight. That makes me think that that's kind of like the end cap, or maybe the beginning of a reboot of sorts with the story. At least in that timeline, and it could be a convergence of the timelines. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Ganondorf is still alive, so I mean, I think they're gonna. I don't think that's really real. Like that's
Right.
why there's a sequel. I don't think Ganon's not gonna come back and
Yeah.
whatnot. So, I'm just excited. I'm excited for Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. I'm really excited more than anything about the story. I just want to see the story unfold and those cutscenes. And this might be the heaviest cutscene Zelda game we've ever had. And that's really cool to me. So outside of that, man, really, that's all I'm Radical Rexing about. Just living life one day at a time. Still my motto. My birthday's coming up. The end of the month, I'll be 30 on the 22nd.
Ooh,
so.
big 3-0, nice.
Yeah, big 3-0. We'll see if anyone even wants to come to my party. We'll see.
Oh, I'd love to come. I don't know if I can, but I'd love to.
Just check your temperature and whatnot and wear a mask. I don't know. You can come over and play games from 6 feet away. I'll have food. But yeah, so that's really what I'm Radical Rexing about. And I'm still chomping at the bit to get to the Mario 3D collection. Gotta wait for my birthday. It just kind of sucks that I'm missing out with playing it with everyone else. Like Josh is already done with 64 and Sunshine and completely. And Galaxy, I'm sure he'll be done within the week. You know that guy. He just plays games all the time. So, I'm excited to get it. I just, wish I was playing it with everyone else. Everyone's going to be done by the time I get it. So,
well, I played a little bit of Sunshine, then I got that ear infection, and I haven't really touched it since. So I've still got 2 games I'm sitting on.
What are you Radical Rexing about yourself, man?
A couple of things. First thing, you mentioned Amiibo. I did get my Hero and Joker Amiibo, and they look beautiful. I have not opened them yet. They're still sitting here. Usually it takes me about a month or so before I finally am like, okay, it's time to open them. They've been in their box long enough. But I've got them on display in front of me as I work, so they are quite fine-looking Amiibo. And my Hero sword seems to be pretty straight, so that's good, and the knife on Joker, so I don't have to worry about any kind of like weird bending I have to do to the Amiibo to make it work. What else we're doing here? I did go ahead and play the Super Mario Brothers 35. It's fun. It's got a little bit of a lag to it or something. It's okay. It did feel like older Mario, and going back to it like when I was playing as a kid. So it kind of felt like something felt a little off. Like there's maybe a little bit of delay. He slides around a little bit more, and I think that's the difference of having played it on Super Nintendo and they recently released the All-Stars on the online, SNES Online. So when I played that, it has a little bit of a different feel. So playing 35 just felt weird to me. But I did have fun the time that I played. I think my highest was probably 5th. So I didn't give a whole lot of time to it. I also did pick up Killer Cream Black digital. I have a physical already, but it was only like $2 digital. So I'm like, why not? And then also when I was, spending coins to get free games, I ended up picking up Morphite, which is something I've had my eye on for a while. It's kind of like, what is it, like, No Man's Sky, or like, kind of like a No Man's Sky type thing, kind of a Metroid type experience too. It's pretty chill though. It's like a light version of those things. It's just like an indie title, I guess, but it's definitely has a cool, like, kind of cel shaded-ish look to the art style and kind of futuristic looking. And, it's not too, like, intense, but I did enjoy what I saw of that. So I finally picked it up when it was on a crazy sale. So I'm pretty happy to have picked that one up. Let's see, what else? I think there's any good games that I played, like, lately. Not a whole lot, just really enjoying Duel Links still. I've not been able to stream a lot lately. And that's been kind of bothering me. Just different things in life come up, and I'm trying to keep a consistent schedule, and I've not been able to do that the past, like, 3 weeks. And so I'm just like, man, I'm failing at this. Another thing that I'm Radical Rexing about, I've applied to a new job. And also, I've applied to a new school. I am applied to go to a coding boot camp at 1150 Academy, and it should be pretty fun to learn some coding. I'm going to be doing back end stuff first, and then I'll learn front end, and then I'll be full stack at some point. But the job I applied for is kind of a fusion of what I'm currently doing, and also has opportunities to go into the coding side of things. So I'm kind of like combining those things together, and hopefully something goes with that job. But I've got some other places I'm going to apply to as well. I'm just kind of doing the job search and ready to move on from the kennel and find something new in life. And and I've got the schooling going, so I've kind of got like all around. I've got a bunch of mix of stuff going on and changing in my life, and it's going to be pretty cool. I've got some surgeries and stuff coming up for my spouse, so that's going to be some big things to look forward to. Definitely need a job to cover those expenses. So I'm working on finding something that pays about the same as what I make now, but can give me the hours that I need because the kennel is just not keeping up. So
yeah, coding's got a. I mean, I know someone who does that, and they make good money. I mean, that's really cool, man. So good for you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Without further ado, let's get into the topic of this week. We are, first of all, it's going to be a 2-part episode. In the same episode, first we're going to talk a little bit about, the ghosts and boos of Mario, and then we're going to actually get into the spotlight part of King Boo. Here we go. Ghosts in Mario. There are plenty. There is a long list. Many of them unnamed. Though some of them do have names. Even off branches like Luigi's Mansion, you'll find your ghosts here and there. It's crazy to think how many different versions of the ghosts there have been in all the different games, and keeping track of them all is really difficult. There's a good amount of them hanging out in Super Mario World, I think, is where I most think of ghosts, with Ghost House, and really where Boo started to shine in my life. And he was okay in Super Mario Brothers 3.
I mean, the first time I saw a big Boo, that was Mario World, and he's not even really King Boo, but he was massive, and I remember him always terrifying me as a kid.
King Boo didn't make an appearance until much, much later on the GameCube.
Right. But, within that game, I mean, obviously we're going to talk about Luigi's Mansion. That game brought us more than just Boos. Like, that was kind of our really first insight into seeing a lot of different types of ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think many of them were named. They all had that kind of, I don't know, like sheet thrown over a Casper character type look. There's so many different versions of the ghosts in the games. Peepa is your generic looking ghost. I guess probably the most like Halloween looking ghost you'll ever see. And then the Eries are the dinosaur ghosts that float around in Super Mario World. You've got the green like ectoplasmic like balls that were in Super Mario World. They kind of floated around on that one level. It was very weird. There's different forms of the Boos. There's one that was like a Boo version of Lakitu. That would like carry around, like, I think it was a 1-up, but then if you hit it or something, like, I want to say it turned into a flame or something. It was bad if you grabbed the 1-up, basically. And then it had like a fishing rod going on. You got Boos and Paper Mario branching off, Lady Bo, Bootler, Vivian. You've got the ghost, if you can count him as a ghost. There's a ghost in Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, the Blarg Witch, I think is what it's called, which is kind of like the Blarg fire magma creature, but more like a ghost. It behaves like it comes up off the bottom of the screen is kind of probably why they called it that. And then, ghosts have known to haunt different places, like the ghost ship. And we had to swim, and then you had the ghost appear, and you had to kind of move along the channel of the ghosts where they weren't. Definitely nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Even Mario got in on the Boo game and turned into a Boo and a power-up and Galaxy, I believe.
Yep.
So there's lots and lots of Boos around. booze as platforms, booze that turn into blocks that you can stand on if you look at them. You know,
The boos really have just evolved over time and have gained more personality. And then, like as a kid, remembering the boos, like that was the only ghost in my mind back then. And like that was the ghost of Mario's world in general. And then it really wasn't until Luigi's Mansion that came out where it just kind of opened your eyes like, oh, wow, okay, there are other ghosts out there. Because you have like we have like the pink ones and the gold ones. Like, I can just Google it. I know that sounds kind of generic, which they are generic ghosts. But
yeah.
For the first time, it was. That's what I'm trying to say is like it was different. It wasn't your traditional boo. Like there was more to it. Like, obviously in Luigi's Mansion 2, they introduced Polterpup, which becomes Luigi's pet. And Polterpup is now a regular in the games, even like Mario and stuff. Like you see him pop up because that's known as Luigi's dog, and which is cute, But the ghosts, Luigi's Mansion really kind of gave a staple as to boos are really different. They're really special because you didn't see boos in Luigi's Mansion at first.
Yeah.
That was kind of the cool part. Like they were hidden and like they were like trapped away in the mansion, and you accidentally open that. And when you open that, it's like, oh crap! I just opened Pandora's box,
Yeah.
and the boos are here. The bad guys are the real bad guys are finally here to cause chaos, and that was the boos. And you had to hunt them down, and they were unique. They were different than the mansion ghosts, like the portrait ghosts is another way to call them. Those were like boss ghosts throughout the whole mansion. Again, cool, unique, and different. And then obviously the future Luigi's Mansions have different types of portrait ghosts as bosses. But it just goes to show that like the boos are unique. They're not to be dealt with lightly. They put fear in me as a kid. That's for sure. When I was little, I was definitely scared. The music matched up well. And that goes back all the way to Mario Bros. 3. Mario Bros. 3, it's those. It scared me. I've said that before when we talked about Mario Bros. 3. The mini level, the mini castles, there would be boos in there, and they are creepy, man. Like their faces, they've got like red mouths and eyes. Like they definitely look horrific. For a kid's game.
I remember Super Mario 64 and going down in the carousel and being terrified of that place. Because like the carnival like music is playing, and then there's like the boo pictures on the walls, and it's scary.
Oh man. In Mario 64, when you see that boo at the end of the hall,
yes,
it is really creepy. It's like, oh my gosh, what was that? That whole world in Mario 64 where the boos are, it's just they did a good job of giving you the creepy factor. It's not even musical. It's really unsettling sounds. They're not going for like in Mario World, like you do kind of have like that. Even though it's creepy, it still played a jingle, like a bum, 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 bum. I think that's how it goes, maybe. But it was like set to the mood of like a spooky feeling. In Mario 64, it's not like that. Mario 64, it's very horrific.
You've got the piano too that's haunted.
Yeah, the haunted piano and just the sounds was just like a low choir sound. Yeah, they have some other instruments, but it wasn't musical. It wasn't. As a matter of fact, unless we go to the carousel downstairs, then they play the creepy circus carousel music that cuts in over the traditional spooky sounds that they have in the game. So they did a good job, and there were big boos there, and those boos at the time were like, we're the leader of the boos, the big bad boos, and that was traditionally like kind of like our first idea, like, oh, the big Boo is really the overseer of all the Boos. Like he's the big baddie, and you fight him twice in the game, and no, 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 times. One in the main entrance, one down the carousel, and then one up at the top, next to the roof.
On the roof, yeah, yeah.
So it gave you the illusion, like, oh, this guy is he's the head honcho around here. But then it wasn't until later on, once they established Luigi's Mansion, they remade Mario 64 and for the DS, and then they replaced that guy with the name of King Boo. So essentially, that was their first. I feel like their first attempt at making King Boo.
And you could argue that the Big Boo in Super Mario World was a King Boo, or was King Boo, if you wanted to.
He just didn't have that tag yet.
Yeah.
You know, I would argue with that for sure. Because you don't see other Big Boos floating around. There's no like medium-sized Boos. They're all the same except for this dude.
Yeah. You know, I did want to credit in the nostalgia chat, Eric, found some information on an early Nintendo Power article. It said that original name was Boo Diddley, kind of like a Bo Diddley, I think is what was the name of some sort of artist back when. But Tezuka's wife, according to Miyamoto, said that Boo was put into the game because he wanted to put his wife into the game, who was really calm and demure, but let things build up and build up and build up, and then she had a crazy anger that just like exploded out of her because he worked too much and he was never home, and just went off on him, and so like this person became Boo in the game.
Yes. Funny, yeah, that's fine. I don't know if it was Miyamoto. I definitely know it was one of the people working on the game, but yeah, that is kind of crazy. And funny for sure.
And then random fact: the language that the Boo speak is called Booish.
Oh, Booish. So, do you have any fond memories of Boo in general, like the Boos?
Boo is my favorite Mario character, so yes, definitely.
Really, I didn't know that.
Oh yes. Boo is my all-time favorite. I also like Bullet Bill, but Boo is yeah. And then there's probably third is probably Birdo, but if you're counting like enemies anyway.
Well, I don't know.
But I like Boo a lot. The aesthetic, the look. I've got as many of the themes and Boo stuff that I can get. I picked up the Boo amiibo because it glows in the dark. My grail item for the 3DS and pretty much Nintendo in general is getting the Boo faceplates that glow in the dark. It's, I've mentioned this before in the show. It's kind of a really hard to get item for the new 3DS. And, I've got the theme on there on my 3DS. And
wow, that's cool.
I love Boos so much. I'm wearing a Boo shirt right now. It says, "Don't look at me." It's got a Boo who's all shy. I used to have a Peekaboo shirt. It was a fusion of Pikachu and Boo.
I remember that, yeah.
And that glowed in the dark as well. And I'm just a big fan of the ghosts Boo. For some reason. I don't know. I just like their look. And I always like black and white checkerboard. And so maybe like with just a little bit of red. And maybe that's why, because that's kind of their aesthetic is the red with the mouth and then the white and then the black outline and everything. So I don't know. That's just kind of what I like about Boos. And I like their laughs. I don't know. They bring me a lot of joy for whatever reason. What about you?
I mean, like I said, I go back to, especially in Mario World, when the first time I ever encountered a gigantic Boo, it really freaked me out. And I didn't know until just recent years that you can slide down like at a steep ledge and you can run into that Boo and kill it. Mm-hmm. Did not know that. But it just overwhelmed me. I remember playing it with Traven, and it overwhelmed me. I didn't know what to do. It's like, how am I going to get around this guy? And just being a little kid, you just do stupid stuff and run into him, and you're not thinking clearly of how to get around this obstacle. But the big Boo always freaked me out, for sure.
So we did get a couple of voicemails. Before we move on into King Boo, specifically in the spotlight, let's go ahead and play those voicemails.
Hey, this is Josh. Of course, I was not able to make it here tonight, But I knew you all were going to be doing an episode about Boo and things like that. So before I get to that point, first I wanted to mention, especially because I know Jacob loves the series so much, how great Crash 4 is on Xbox One. At least that's the version I'm playing of it. Hopefully it comes to Switch one day, but it is excellent. If you like the trilogy that came out recently, I think you'll definitely like this. And give it another shot. You know, I know Jacob's a huge fan of the whole 12 minutes he's played of the first game. You know, I think he'd really be surprised with this one. Anyhow, a big shout out to a couple ghosts here off the top of my head for the episode. First off, the real King Boo is the one from Luigi's Mansion. The other two are just jokers. I don't know what the deal is with those are. Don't know why they don't just use the Luigi's Mansion one. Anyhow, also, a little shout out to a couple of the Boos from that series as well, like Game Boo Advance, Boolicious, or Boolicious. Whoa, I said that a lot worse than I needed to. And outside of the Boo realm of things, Crackle from Donkey Kong Country 2. I thought he should be brought up at least once here. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.
All right. Yeah. That also brings up Brinkley Kong.
Oh yeah.
And if you go into like other Nintendo franchises, there are so many ghosts. It's hard to keep track of them all.
There's lots of ghosts. Yeah. And Josh, thanks for wasting our time with Crash updates. No one cares. But we wanted to emphasize the king of all ghosts today, and that's really King Boo. So, as we get ready to talk about King Boo, I want to read a little biography here from Super Mario Wiki. King Boo is the leader of the Boos and Ghosts, ruler of the paranormal dimension, the main antagonist of the Luigi's Mansion series, and the arch nemesis of Luigi. He is also an ally of Bowser, who has aided him in his various schemes. He is more than capable of devising and enacting villainous plans by himself, including his capture and imprisonment of Mario. Although not the biggest Boo, King Boo has abilities that far surpass that of the average ghosts. He wields a number of impressive magical abilities, including the ability to materialize objects. King Boo's magical power is directly proportional to the number of Boos in his vicinity. That last part was interesting. I didn't realize that his magical powers are directly proportional to the number of Boos in his vicinity. I didn't realize that he gained his... I know in Luigi's Mansion, the first one, that is true. Yes, there's a lot of Boos around him, and, when you pop off Bowser's head, the fake... It's not the real Bowser. Bowser's head, this fake object that looks like Bowser, all the Boos come crashing out, and you gotta suck them up, and that's how you slowly... beat King Boo's power weakens. But I didn't realize that. I didn't really feel like that was the case in Luigi's Mansion 2 or 3.
No, I haven't beaten 2 and 3, so I don't have much input on that.
Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, King Boo is one area that I am a little gray on.
Well, we mentioned in Mario 64, he came back and they just kind of reskinned him for the remake on Mario 64 DS. It was who we always kind of thought he was, but they actually redid that and put a crown on him. And they after that they started to just show him regularly. He started showing up in Mario Kart racing games. He's a Mario Kart Wii as a large sized driver. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with his crown. And then it wasn't until Mario Kart Tour, they really changed his character up though. He looks a lot more menacing in Luigi's Mansion 3. Beforehand, he looks like a giant Boo with a crown. Even in the original Luigi's Mansion game. It wasn't until, I think... Well, I guess not. Luigi's Mansion... They have gone back and forth, I guess what Josh has said. There's Boos where he looks like a normal Boo, just with a crown on his head, and he's bigger. Hence the King Boo in Mario 64 DS remake, the ones you see in the Mario Kart games. And then they really... he's even in Super Princess Peach and in Mario Party, which is kind of crazy. Oh yeah, Mario Party 10. He's a boss. I do remember that. Yeah, he is. He's got that. They're not consistent unless it's the Luigi's Mansion series.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit the Luigi's Mansion series, he looks very, very scarier. He's got dark eyes. Like his eyes are kind of sunk in, and they are purple. They glow. He is definitely a lot different than your traditional Boos. His tongue's different. His teeth are different. He's pretty menacing, man.
Yeah. I've got to see him in Luigi's Mansion 3 to get a good feel for him, but I don't like the way that they're going with him. I don't know. Like, and the gem on top of his head, like, I'm not a big fan of that direction that they've been going with him. I like the Boo with the crown. That look, just like a bigger Boo with his crown. Like, that's kind of my preference. So that's why I don't usually like when King Boo is in a game. And they didn't put in the original Boo, just because I like the aesthetic of the original. So I don't know, the purple just kind of throws off the whole thing, and especially the gem on top. I think it's so ridiculous to see that gem as a crown.
I mean, it doesn't really bother me. Have you even seen the opening cutscene to Luigi's Mansion 3? It's really long.
I think I did. I started up on Halloween night, and I was really busy, so didn't get much into it. So.
I mean, you're missing out. You need to finish that game for real, dude.
Maybe it wasn't Halloween night. I don't know. I opened it up at some point in time and played it for a little bit, but
it's a solid game. Luigi's Mansion 3 really was a good true to form. Side note, I do want to talk about the Super Mario Sunshine. With Mario 3D All-Stars being back out, people are going to see this. They're going to see King Boo in Super Mario Sunshine. Well, he is different. He is not the King Boo that we are shown. For some reason, Nintendo thought it would be cool to let's make another King Boo that looks terrible in Super Mario Sunshine, and he's going to be the leader of the Boos on Isle Delfino, and appears as a boss in Serena Beach during its 5th episode. On that episode, King Boo Down Below, and he dislikes spicy food, so you gotta serve him that to defeat him. It's key to defeating him. But yeah, he's made out of goop. He's meaning that Bowser Jr. might have drawn him. Oh crap! Spoilers. Yeah, that fake Mario's baby Bowser Jr. If you didn't know.
Yeah.
But it just kind of makes sense that maybe that's why he is poorly drawn. Because King Boo has worked with him and. Bowser Jr. has seen him. He kind of draws him from memory. Because he does have blue eyes. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. His eyes actually look similar to that of the King Boo that we get in Luigi's Mansion. Mm-hmm. Personally, I don't have an issue with the way King Boo looks and modernly for the Luigi's Mansion series. I like it. I think it is it separates him, makes him separate apart from the rest of the Boos. I think it would be really cool if they could expand more of the Boo world. Maybe the next Luigi's Mansion game, I don't know, is more focused on Boos in general and not just. I would like to see other types of Boos. You got King Boo and you got regular Boo. But then let's give the Boos even more character. Okay, great example, the Boo from Paper Mario. What did I say her name was? Bow.
Lady Bow, yeah.
Lady Bow. She looks like a Boo, but she's different. She's light blue, and she is an ally to Mario. She's not actually against Mario.
No. Lady Bow is the green one.
She's green. Okay, yeah.
She's not the big husky looking Boo. You know what I mean? The lady figure Boo, not that one. No.
No. Lady Bow is your ally. She goes with you and helps make Mario go invincible in that game, and to go defeat Tubba Blubba. But it would just be cool if we could see more into the Boo's world, and just give them more personality and character in general, and where they all come from more. I would love to see that. Maybe they could explore that with more Luigi's Mansion stuff. Who knows? But I mean, what do you think, man? What about you? Where would you like to see King Boo go? The direction they'd like to take him?
I don't know. I do want to congratulate. Pardon me. I do want to congratulate King Boo on his recent doctorate. He is now Dr. King Boo, according to the new Dr. Mario game on cell phones.
Yep.
So congratulations to him.
Latest appearance. Good job, buddy.
So yeah, I mean, he went to medical school, so that's impressive right there.
Yeah. Right.
So Madame Flurry is the one I was thinking of, the big purple ghost looking
gross
girl. She's got curves, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then some.
She is the different ghost. You are right.
So where do I want to see King Boo going? I love, like, again, even that model that they showed for Dr. King Boo was just a Boo with a crown. And I prefer that. And the Mario, like the ones that aren't meant to be scary are going to show that classic Boo look with the crown. Whereas if it's meant to be scary, like Luigi's Mansion, they're going to get that purple look with like the blue or the red aura and that gem on top of the head and everything. And so there's a bunch of different elements to that, and where they're going to go with that, I don't know. It's, like I said, I really need to get to play, the Luigi's Mansion games and get a feel for what he's like. And we may never see this Sunshine Boo ever again, King Boo again, which is fine.
That's completely fine.
But I would like to see a King Boo appear in unusual places. I know that he was in the Mario plus Rabbids, just depicted, I think, in like a picture somewhere. So he made a cameo there, and I want to see Boo utilized more. I like the idea of Boo as an ally, but not necessarily. That doesn't have to happen. Like, but see Boo get more of a spotlight. To see him in new places. And that also, I want to throw this in here. If they do another Mario Kart Double Dash or Double Dash mode, I totally want Luigi and Polterpup to drive in one cart, and Polterpup to like use his tongue to drive the wheel, to steer the wheel.
That'd be cute.
But yeah, as far as where we're going, what are they going to do with King Boo? Are we going to see King Boo before Luigi's Mansion 4? That's remains to be seen. We have gotten representation, in spin-offs and other things here and there. I'm sure we'll continue to see him in some form in Mario Party. I seriously doubt that they'll extract him from that. I don't know. And there's also there's Dark Boo. So we may at some point see a Dark King Boo, which is kind of that purple look anyway. So maybe that's where it's starting to go with that idea, which is pretty cool. I would absolutely love a spinoff where you play it as Boo or something like that, and got to go through Mushroom Kingdom, the walls of the castle, and you could actually go through the walls and explore parts of the castle that Mario couldn't get to and stuff, or just different places in the world. As Boo would be pretty fun.
I think it would be really cool if, well, first off, I just want to say King Boo, from the King Boo I have experienced in Luigi's Mansion, especially the third, the second to the third, he's a really violent character. He's very aggressive, man. He seems more aggressive than Bowser, honestly. Like, he's got kind of like a kid Boo, no pun intended there, from Dragon Ball Z, kind of like that kind of a personality, where it's more of he's just reckless and doesn't care what gets in his way, and he will destroy it, and he gets pleasure out of destroying anything that comes across his path. He's very violent. Just go watch the opening scene to Luigi's Mansion 3, and you'll see him aggressively go after Luigi. And I feel like the past adventures that he's failed in to Luigi, he's ticked off. Whereas Bowser doesn't seem ticked off. Bowser just seems like, oh, I lost. Well, here I'm going to try to here's a new plan. Let's try this. Bowser doesn't ever really seem ultimately like he holds a grudge from his past attempts at getting what he wants. Mm-hmm. Whereas King Boo does. He clearly has an agenda. Like he sets out, and if you even read the dialogue in Luigi's Mansion 3, so spoilers, he has it out for Luigi. He hates Luigi. Mm-hmm. He is ticked off that he has screwed him over, or he's ruined his plans the last 2 attempts, and he wants revenge. And that really shows an insight to his character of who King Boo is. So I would like to see more of a collaboration of Bowser. They say he aids Bowser. I would like to see Bowser and King Boo work hand in hand in a story and see where they go with that. I think that would be cool.
They did show Luigi becoming a ghost. I'd like to see maybe a story where Bowser becomes a ghost for a short time or something, and now is under King Boo's rule, and King Boo is doing things and is the main villain or something. That'd be kind of a cool play on reversal of roles that I'd like to see.
Huh. That would be interesting. Very. But yeah, I mean, that's really my final thoughts on King Boo. He's a cool character. I like him. I like that he's the main baddie versus Luigi, and gave Luigi his own main character to face. So I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. Any final thoughts, my friend?
I don't think I have too much else to say on Boos and King Boos in general, other than I just absolutely adore them, and I love to see more of them coming into the series and being represented.
Awesome. Well, why don't you? We were pretty long last week, so I think we should cut this one short here, Ryan.
Yeah.
Let's do our due diligence.
Sure thing, man. You can find us on our home site at thenintendovillage.com/Nintendo Nostalgia. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora Podcasts, and YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook at Nintendo NOS, on our Twitter at Nintendo_NOS, on our Instagram at Nintendo NOSIN. Shoot us an email at NintendoNostalgiaIN@gmail.com. You can also give us a call on our NOS hotline and share your memories. Show us some love at 317-969-5690. Guys, that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will catch you next week. Later, Preston.
Bye-bye.